is called The 13th Warrior. Have you seen it?
I love that movie.
It's
That is a great movie.
phenomenal, but fantastic.
Yeah.
We're live, but
Okay.
give a few minutes for people to join in. Plus, it's small anyway.
Okay. Plus, still, oh, just taking another screenshot because the artist rendition, although I can't really find it, but the artist, like, I want to say rendering or rendition of it is really cool. That's what looks like the Mummy movie. So
send it to me. Good evening, folks. We're going to talk about everlasting life today. I actually asked a question on my Facebook what people think when they hear the word fountain or the phrase fountain of youth. And so we can actually refer to that for commentary as well. But so it's funny, Susan and I were having a good discussion, and it went down the path of where did we start? We were talking about epigenetics and no, epigenetics.
why I'm going gray.
Right. Yes. There you go. There you go. Started off on why she was turning gray.
Yeah, like really gray.
And I said, you know what? You have no idea what's happening up there, and neither do I, and I don't want to know. I know what's happening here, and all this gray is coming in. And to me, it's kind of a fail because I'm aging, yet I'm eating healthy. But and so where did that lead? That led into a discussion about
your terror. I can't. Your terror means
telomeres.
Telomeres. Okay.
We're talking about telomeres, and because that's related to aging, and somehow that led us in the Garden of Eden, the astragalus plant, the people in China that lived to be 500, and you said, oh, it's another guy, he lived to be 200. Mm-hmm. So we decided, you know what, it just makes sense. We're going to talk about the fountain of youth, everlasting life, and telomeres, then and aging. Then we might as well just do a live stream and talk about it. So that's what we're going to do. But it's crazy right now because I think Tony is live and Sean Yankee is live. So that happens, cross-pollinate. You know, ABC is on the same time with NBC, with ABC, CBS. And the cool part is Susan took it to Egypt. So you know that got me. And tell me about the Osiris tomb, because I think I have pictures of it.
Okay. Well, I'm sending the pictures I could find right now. But so what I know about it, because they don't really talk about it. And then what's that guy? Not gonna say it. Hasbi Zawas, the guy who's been in charge of like Egyptian antiquities for years.
Yes, but you messed me up. You said Hazi, and that broke it. Zahi Zawad, Zahi Hawat, Howie Frank Zappa.
Zippity Doodah, that guy.
Zawi Hawass, the guy who got into a fight with the brother Graham Hancock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was convicted for like fraud or something, or stealing antiquities or something like that.
Did. Right, he got caught. He was stealing antiquities. He got caught. But see, everything in Egypt is like slightly less corrupt than America. So he got caught, but then he still had major influence in what's happening there. So nothing true is really coming out of Egypt. There you go. Jonathan got it back. Zahi Hawass.
But he got it. Zahi Hawass. Okay. That was close.
Jonathan's on spot. That brother, he won't let you look stupid live. He'll take care of you. So now tell me about the Osiris tomb. So I watched him go down in it, and the last thing I saw on it, it was full of water. I didn't know that they drained it. So apparently they drained it, and there's some lore. I hate that word. There is some history that's not understood around it being a chamber of fountain of youth.
Well, this was okay. So this is just, it might be in a book. but this is my theory, how I put it together. So I saw that, right? And I was like, that's like some mummy movie stuff, right? So, and then I read the Egyptian Book of the Dead. And so it was Set, I believe, but it might have been another one. I'm not going to remember. But so Set and another goddess tricked Osiris. And this is why I believe that we are buried all wrong. And it's a spell to keep us like dead or something. So the only way to kill him was to put him in a box. So they had to measure his body and make a box the size of his body. And then they chained it and they threw it to the bottom of the river. And so I think it was either Isis or Matt found him and you know, took him out of the box and then brought him back to life. So I'm thinking the Osiris chamber had something to do with her bringing him back to life. Because like we had to realize like this place was, I mean, it's at the exact center of all landmass on Earth. 432 equals 9, right? And Tesla said the keys to unlocking the mysteries of the universe is 3, 6, and 9, right? And then the pyramids were built on a scale of 43,200 to Earth. So if you measured it 43,200 times the base, and you would get the equator of Earth. And if you measure to the height and times it by 43,200, you get the meridian, you know, long ways.
Yes.
And then the speed of light, it's like the exact latitude or longitude of the speed of the light or something like that. And they say about the acoustic vibrations inside. And then the Osiris chamber is exactly, so there's like a tunnel that goes from the Sphinx to the pyramid, and it's exactly in the center of that. And then it goes down exactly 99 again feet. And the earth resonates at 432 hertz. So there can't be a coincidence. That's too much. It's too many things.
It's way too much. It's way too much. And this is the problem with you and I having any kind of conversation online about Egyptians, long-lasting life, herbalism, or anything, because it'll take forever. We just people. There's so much in what you just said.
Sorry, I know I went on a little rant.
I'm trying to focus on one thing because my mind was like, you know, aliens helped build the pyramids. When the pyramids get built, who built them? Are they 80,000 years old or 13,000 years old? Based on the Younger Dryas and pole flipping and blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to try to narrow it down. We're going to keep it on the topic. I'm going to do something I've never done before. We're going to keep it actually on topic. We're going to talk about everlasting life. So okay. Well, Brother Justin asked, did they have to cut him up to put him in the Osiris chamber? Okay.
I can't remember because I do remember too. I don't think so because I know like he floated down river and got stuck in a tree, and then they talk about the tree of life, and that's where she found them. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything connects in my head to other things, and I don't know why. It's just the way it is.
So this is the problem. This is the problem with connections is there's so much we don't know and so much is being uncovered right now. So like what I like is to take it and add it to like modern scientific discoveries, right? So like you first hear something like the Tomb of Osiris, you know, or you know, the Fountain of Youth, you know, how does that make any sense? That's crazy. It makes no sense. Well, first of all, I hate to touch on the A word that we're not supposed to say. It starts with a dream and ends up in the word that you use to stuff. It sounds like dome, but you say it in videos. So there's that, right? There's the mouse that they hooked up to the old mouse. They hooked up to the young mouse. They did that experiment where the stem cells made the old mouse a young mouse again. Its gray hair went away, became brown. That's how this conversation started. It became fertile again. It was, you know, and it started running around getting freaky. So, and then you add that to the Garden of Eden, which is what we were talking about, and the astragalus plant, right?
Right.
So when I think of the tomb of Osiris, I think, okay, so if they had a tomb for birthing or the control of life from spells from the Book of the Dead or whatever, then it probably goes back to some ancient wisdom that we've lost. And scientifically today, we know why we age, what we were talking about. The researcher in Stanford University found the telomeres, which are those your chromosomes. After 21, you stop making a telomerase enzyme, so the telomeres break down, and when they break down to nothing, you get DNA damage, you get chromosome damage, which means that your cells aren't performing how they should. Slowly over time, that becomes liver problems, if it's liver cells, heart problems, brain problems, your immune system. So basically, you start to die. And so I take things back to plants because I find that to be the most fascinating. And so after she discovered that, we knew that the human being does not have a definitive lifespan, right? We die because the telomerase enzyme stops doing what it's supposed to do. And when you die, you have a full complement of telomerase enzymes, the repair system, even in your 80s. So something shut off the human being's telomerase repair system, which is why we age and we die. That's where gray hair, wrinkles, and organ failure and all that comes from. So we were designed to live forever. And as the story goes, we were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. And the further we got from the Garden of Eden, which is what the Bible story I appreciate probably the most in my mind these days, is Exodus. I think it was Exodus, right? Where, you know, they went from living 900 years to 800 years to 600 years. The further generations and the further they got from the Garden of Eden, the shorter their lifespans. So perhaps something growing in that garden, like the astragalus plant, the root system that was used in China for 5,000 years, which for healing people, and they didn't know why. Now we know why. It was repairing the telomerase enzyme, which allowed the person's cells to go back operating as normal, which meant that it would heal all types of conditions in their body. So maybe the Egyptians knew that. Maybe they had that knowledge. I don't know.
Wait, just a quick synchronicity or whatever, because we started off with Egypt and then started talking about plants. Look at the plants in the back of that picture in the hieroglyphs. There's plants at the top and plants at the bottom, right underneath you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then there's a cup.
Yeah.
Cup of life.
I'm not sure we can have any discussions online. It's going to take forever. So now you can
I know.
Voynich manuscript, right? The Voynich manuscript and all these ancient plants that don't exist anymore on Earth. Like you can't find the plants anywhere. I'm pretty good with plant identification. And not one. I have the manuscript and I go back and forth through it. Are y'all familiar with the Voynich manuscript is? It was a book found full of plants and cures, possibly written in a language nobody can understand. And I went back and forth in it, Susan, and not one of those plants ever. There's not one flower. Well, the flower kind of looks familiar. It doesn't match up with the leaf size or the complement or the roots. And so, I mean, you know, a couple options. One is a total fake, which is pushing it. Two, it's a manuscript that came from another planet, which is fun, still kind of pushing it. Or three, it's just a language and plants that came from an earlier pole shift, and the book is maybe stuck around in Egyptian tombs or some ancient site in Turkey. Who knows where it came from? But those plants no longer have that exact complement. So anyway, plants are definitely a technology. It's a technology that we no longer really know how to use well because we use circuit boards and everything else.
Yeah, definitely. Well, also too, we know that, what was it? The Rife machine used sound frequencies to cure cancer, and all those temples, when they vibrate sound, when you make sound in them, it reverberates. They say you can feel it through your body. So the ancient world definitely knew way more about our natural world and our real world than we do, because we built such a fake world that we miss the real world all the time.
But I think we got thrown off the rails. I think Rockefeller medicine destroyed us. I think this Kali, I guess we're in what the Yuga phase. This Yuga, this cycle.
Jonathan knows which Yuga it is. I know he said it before. So, yeah, Jonathan, if you're there, you can tell us which one it is.
Oh, we were in the Kali Yuga. I thought we were in the last cycle to recycle and start all over. But I think every Yuga, we have a whole different set of technology, right? Like one time it was consciousness and spirituality. We use that technology. Maybe another time was plant-based, which is where the Voynich manuscript or whatever could have come from. Another time could have, this time is like capacitors and electronics, circuit board, stuff like that. But it makes sense that sound can heal you as well as light, because that's what light and sound are. It's vibration. So it doesn't make it makes perfectly good sense to me.
Yeah, and plants too. Don't they give off a spectrum of light that we can't see?
A lot of photons. Every cell in all of creation, right? Like all of your cells emit 1,000 pulses of light every second, and plants do the same thing. So when you look at a plant, it's literally, there's a light show that's going on that your brain is not telling you about. But also when you look at other people, there's a light show that's going on.
I read something about, and I love this so much. So plants photosynthesize the sun, right? And then we eat the plants, which makes us combust the sun within our bodies, giving off light. And I love that. I know it doesn't have anything really to do with it. I really like it.
Well, no, I mean, I think a lot can relate to it, because all life comes from the sun, right? All energy comes from the sun. So it's definitely a life giver, a life giver. I always go back to the Garden of Eden, and I always wonder, I was telling you, like, God kicked us out of the Garden of Eden, and people don't want to get twisted. And, scripture is just scripture. They're ancient texts. I don't really subscribe too much to religion. I just think that there's some root truth that we don't understand. And when you think you understand, you form with a group of people, you grab some scriptures or books or whatever, and you say that is the truth. I'm just a person who reads everything. So God kicked us out of the Garden of Eden, which is an ancient story which goes back to the Hindu text, the Naga gods, the Sanskrit text. And the only punishment was that you were naked. You were naked, so you wanted to put clothes on to cover up your solar panels that bring in vitamin D, and specifically vitamin D3, that gives your immune system abilities that you won't get from vitamin D you take in vitamins. It goes through your skin, it interfaces with your immune system, your white blood cells, in ways you'll never get any other way. And that you couldn't eat from his garden. That was it. That's all God did. God could have smacked you. God could have took a leg. God could have made us all bald. God could have gave us gray hair. God could have paddled us. God.
Hey, don't say gray hair is the punishment. I'm really going gray over here.
I'm saying everything. Like, God could have done anything. Made us all wrinkled, look like testicles and hairy, and all just walking around Earth looking like that. God could have done anything. God could have put gave us 2 anuses. God could have put a third anus right here, or a second one right there, like where the third eye is. God could have done anything, but God, instead, the ultimate punishment was that you'd be scared of the sun. So you'd put clothes on, which you'd debilitate your immune system from wearing clothes. And 2, you can't eat from the garden. And its original design was that we would live forever, which modern science has just proven. We are designed to live forever. So the punishment fit the crime, right? Because God said that, okay, well, you're not going to live forever, and your life is going to be hard. In walk this time of great illness, disease, strife, work, and short life. So I think the Fountain of Youth could be real. I think that maybe who was looking for fountains? The Templars?
Who?
The Templars that were looking for the Fountain of Youth?
The Templars. Well, there's also all that you know, those stories about that they did have the what's it called, the Holy Grail, which there's the stories where it healed or it could bring back the dead and things like
Yes.
that. But do you remember when I showed you that mushroom holding water?
Yes.
Okay, because so this is just another like my head thing. Like they talk about the cup of life, right? And all those ancient texts and hieroglyphs and everything, they all have pictures of mushrooms, right? And it just, so that day when I was in the woods, it looked like a cup. So I was pouring water in it because it was like a cup. And then so then we talk about the cup of life. And like you were talking about plants, but mushrooms also, like lion's mane. I talk about it all the time because everybody should be eating it. But it literally repairs brain cells, and in some cases it regrew that, like brain cells that died, like it stimulated new growth. So we talk about the fountain of youth and the astragalus plant and stuff like that. So our planet grows things to keep us healthy, to keep us alive a long time. We just forgot to, I guess, eat them or use them, and we're all poisoned now. So
Yeah, there is that. They're not really trying to save grandmama. They've been poisoning her for the longest time. So we came from fungus. So the
yeah.
mycelium that pretty much dominated the planet before any other plant or other life. Um, our brains and how they form neural networks is based in that. So to me, I mean, you know, if there's anything that would be very healing, it would be perhaps eating the things of what we came from and how our brains actually work. So that repairing the brain, that makes perfectly good sense. But I'm pretty much convinced that the reason why we age and we die is we don't eat.
We don't eat right.
We
Yeah.
don't eat what's human, right? If humans are designed to live forever, in which we are, then it means we don't eat right. We stopped eating the complement of plants that grew in creation, whatever you feel it to believe, or whatever you believe it to be. So this is just biologically. Now we could really get scary and talk about how we don't actually die, that we're actually
Yeah. Well,
creatures.
I was gonna say, because so I'm gonna have to disagree with you a little bit, but I don't think we're meant to live forever in these physical bodies. I mean, but I do think we're meant to live for a lot longer than we do, because what was it? Adam lived to be like 900, and you figure, like with astrology, a whole cycle takes about 1,000 to 2,500 years, and then we talk about our purpose, and I don't think you can really truly fulfill your purpose in 75, 80 years. Like I that's really not a lot of time. I mean, because our lives are so short, we think it's a lot of time, but I don't think that's a lot of time, really. Most of us don't even begin to discover who we are until we're in our 30s or 40s. Like,
Right.
I don't really know who I am. I couldn't answer that question fully right now. So, you know what I mean?
We're still children, right?
Right.
So if Methuselah, in which he lived to be what, like 800 and something or 900 and something, and if this is like bothering anybody in terms of like us living that long, don't worry. Ancient texts actually agree with the Bible. Ancient texts, like when you look at the Book of the Kings, right? And there was a book, I don't know if it was the Aztecs or the Mayans that did it also. The Book of the Kings and the Sumerian tablets. The Book of the Kings from Egypt and the Sumerian tablets both documented kings that lived for thousands of years, kings that ruled for thousands of years. Very meticulous records. I mean, like the Sumerian tablets, they were so meticulous. They recorded childbirth, they recorded taxes, they recorded sale of bread. Like these were legal documents. And they talked about kings that lived for thousands of years. So you can go to Anunnaki, you can, you know, do whatever you want with that. That's fine. But the reality is, people have lived for a very long time on this planet. So you go back. I guess we got to break apart that discussion in terms of, so there's biological life, and then there is soul. Right?
Right.
From a soul perspective, everlasting life, we never die. Like we're just energy. Energy doesn't die. It maybe multiplies or it just transfers form. But the biological side, I would say that if we actually do have a definitive lifespan, we don't know what kills us. We know cancer isn't supposed to kill us. You know, leukemia and autoimmunity and cardiovascular disease, all of the artificial diseases, viruses and stuff like that, we're not supposed to die of any of that. If whatever we're supposed to kill us, it's far past 800, 900 years old. And the scientists agree. And the funny part, I forgot who said it, but pretty much for the most part, genetic scientists agree. They disagree on whether or not we have infinite life. They just think that whatever is supposed to kill us, that's not malnutrition based, which is what all those diseases are, or toxicity, we don't know what they are. So we might, die at 1200, but we certainly aren't supposed to live to 80. We're just children at 80, literally. But we have the bodies of old people because of DNA destruction, right? Destroying our chromosomes.
Well, talking about that, because have you ever known like an old couple that was married for like 50 years or really, really in love, and one of them dies, and then like 6 months to a year later, the other one will die, and there'll be nothing wrong with that person, they just die. And so it's almost like they almost choose to leave. You know what I mean? And then there's wolves, and so an alpha wolf, if he makes it to, they usually live to about 7 years, or 5 years, I don't know, but it's like 5-7 years or something like that. But when they know that they're getting old, they literally will just walk away from the pack into the woods to never be seen again, and no one knows what happens to that wolf. But it's almost like I think, like you were saying, we're supposed to live a lot longer, and then it's like we know that we completed what we were supposed to do, and we almost choose to go back.
So you got me.
At least that's how we're supposed to be.
You got me, and I gotta find his name. So, and I started to tell you about this. Is the guy from China. It was a man who lived to be 500 years old. And
hot with all this hair. So I always put it up. I said it's hot with all this hair.
So what you said though was spot on with how he died, right? So there were people who have said that they were, he was an old man when they were babies, and this was an old man who was an herbalist. He lived out in the forest or whatever, and they became old, and he was still alive. And so China had birthday parties for him. I think it was like every 100 years or so they had a birthday party for him. So they had records of this man's birthdays, living to be 500 years old. And I think it was 2020 did a episode on him. And when they went over and they did their investigative report, they proved that he lived to be like 190 or 200 or something, not 500. But, of course, it's still something it boggles the mind. One of the things he said that he ate was the roots from the astragalus plant, like, being an herbalist. But when he died, he basically said that he was tired of watching everybody die.
Right.
That he fathered so many children and had so many wives, and everybody he knows would die.
Right.
And so, is it the plants he ate? Did he have some weird genetics? Did he have a weird gene that actually was repairing the telomerase or keeping the telomerase enzyme active so it was repairing him so he never aged? Who knows? Who knows? But the deep thing is he just said he had living, so he wanted to die.
Okay, real quick off topic because my conspiracy brain just went off. But
this is in the evenings. Well, actually, I do conspiracy all days. So
okay. So all this RNA, DNA, vaccine testing stuff, and they all want to live forever and do it by, with BLO. I don't want to say it and get cut off. maybe that's what they're looking for. The genes that people with the genes that can, like, that have those genes, like that guy that can trigger the fountain of youth, or maybe it's inside of us. Well, it is inside of us, but you know what I mean? Maybe they're looking for that certain strain, that certain sequence. That's just a conspiracy. I'm sorry. I don't mean to start no crazy.
No, I don't think it's a conspiracy at all. You got me. No, I think, I know that's what they want, right? So what they want is they do want to live forever. They've always wanted kings. I mean, you know, so looking for the fountain of youth, that's always been their goal. You know, and you start talking about adrenobrobe, which you can't say the word.
I'm trying to
clone. I don't know how you have to. You got to change the words. So they've always wanted to do that. But if you ask me, they've already figured it out. They've already figured it out. So I think that they're looking for certain genes through, and I don't know if I'm on Facebook, Miss Tree. Tell me if I'm on YouTube. I thought I was still banned on YouTube. So I think that they've already found it, right? Experiments with the mice alone, right? That actually vindicates the people who talk about adrenoblobo as a real thing. So are they looking for some ancient gene like what he had from, you know, an ancient king or bloodline that lived as long as the kings in the Book of the Kings or the Sumerian tablets? Absolutely, absolutely. 23andMe, don't they keep your DNA? You know, and think about all the people who go missing, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And maybe a lot of the stuff that people talk about, human trafficking and all that, these kids that disappear, maybe it's because they find that they have that gene and they're grabbing people and they're testing them. So we asked this in terms of cuckoo virus. What wouldn't a corporation do for a $700 billion payday making a cure to cuckoo virus? Nothing. There's any politician, no government they wouldn't buy. They probably would start wars for that payday, right? That would make them the god of pharmaceutical companies. So two, well, what would they do? And that's to cure a virus, which we're not going to go into details on virus theory and whether or not I need to talk about that less, to be honest. What would they do for the fountain of youth?
Right.
They would be the god of the planet. So hell yeah, they would grab kids. Hell yeah, they'd inject people. They'd test. They would do anything that they could. Anything that they could. So,
and actually, what you were just saying too, like if you think about it, the Sumerian texts, the Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, everybody, right, all talked about the gods having sex with human women and having demigods. There's all those stories from every ancient. So, and if our DNA, what was it, like a gram of DNA can carry like 7 million terabytes or something, like some crazy amount of information. And those stories are so old and been told for so long, there has to be some level of truth to it, right? So what if that stuff is in our DNA? There is a God code in some of our DNAs that have been passed along. And as long as you have the technology to break that code, then you can narrow down that gene and, you know, synthesize it and live forever.
Well, the reality that I like to share with people constantly and remind them as we get into these
scientific debates on YouTube and Facebook.
I'm not a scientist, just for clarification.
I am a scientist for clarity, but it's computer science. But, you know, so there is no science. There is no true science in the public domain. There is none at all. They hide everything important. And they've always done that. That's not anything new. So it's not a hit. It's NASA and DARPA and the rest of them. I mean, Greek fire, right? They hid Greek fire from the population. Anytime they can make a technology they can kill a bunch of people with, they don't release it. If they come close to finding a time machine or making a time machine, they're not going to tell you. It's not going to be on CNN. It's not going to be on ABC. Your politicians aren't going to tell you. If they find a fountain of youth, which is what I want to say earlier, and you've got some old ancient astragalus plant that's growing and its root system grows down into a fountain, which is what plants do. That root system is releasing this compound in the water, and people find that when they drink from it, they become young again. Nobody's going to tell you. If I find that, ain't telling y'all. I'm gonna tell you right now. I said, but you're right. You're supposed to be a nice person. If I found a fountain of youth, oh no, we know. I told you, you don't want me running the world. You don't. No, you don't want that at all. I'm not
Yes.
telling nobody because all they're gonna do is kill me and take the fountain anyway.
Yeah, true.
Like, seriously, like I meditate. When I'm meditating, I'm thinking about like learning how to levitate and fly and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if I learn how to levitate and fly, I didn't tell nobody, and I ain't gonna tell nobody because they're gonna come grab me, throw me in a laboratory, start poking and prodding, sticking stuff in my butt and my nose, trying to figure out how this stuff works. No, if you learn how to fly, if you're a witch warlock, you can shoot death rays out your eyes or something like that. You become a mutant. You better not tell nobody. Keep that to your damn self. Die with it. And I honestly, I think mutants are on this planet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like Hof. What's his name? Wim Hof, right? He meditates and he can change his body temperature. He can sit in ice and melt the ice. We have Stan Lee did a show about humans with super abilities. So that confirms what you're saying right there. So it doesn't have to be about like everlasting life and fountain you gene that keeps you young, that repairs your telomerase enzymes or reactivates them. It could just simply be they're looking for genes to make superhumans. They're finding people that have gene drifts that maybe flip on ancient genes from Lemuria or Atlantis or Egyptian times that allow you to do something with electricity, make a little spark between your hands. And they want to figure out how to use that to abuse us more with it.
Well, even Tesla, he I think it was even in that one interview, his last interview or something, where Mark Twain, he says how Mark Twain used to tease him because he was always so cold, but that's because he could control his own body temperature with his mind. And he said, like, I guess the lower it was, the less energy you consume. So he was able to like not eat for days and stay up longer and stuff. So that like, and I actually think that all of us have that ability. Maybe not all of us, but a lot of us do. And we just don't know how to access it.
I think that we are all gods. I think that we're all goddesses. I think Yeshua Christ wasn't lying when he said, greater things I have done, you will do. I think we have the ability to tap into all of that. And I think that the billionaires and trillionaires who run this planet, I think they all know that. I think that they probably grabbed everything that Hitler grabbed when he went through Europe, and they're piecing it together, right? I think that, where is it? Trisha Blankenship ain't around here. Trisha changed her name because I keep messing with her. At the Curse of Oak Island, her family, the Blankenship family, is looking for what's at the bottom of that. What is the treasure? And they're finding more and more evidence that it was Templars that put a treasure there. And it would make perfectly good sense if that was like something that created, well, what is it that they're hiding? The Ark of the Covenant, right? Or the chalice, the
Holy Grail.
Christ, the Holy Grail, right? And so the Holy Grail, what if the Holy Grail, and I'm not trying to take anything away from religion. I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but what if the cup was made from the roots of the astragalus plant? What if it bled into the cup the ability to turn on genes or reactivate your whatever that reactivates your telomerase enzymes? Like, I'm not trying to explain away the mysticism of it. I'm just simply saying that I think there are a lot of things that we think are miraculous and magic, but in the future we discover that it's lightning, it's a tornado, it's not a god, it's a tsunami, it's not, a kraken.
Well, also too, part of the mysticism is because one, it was different then, right? So like in the Bible, it says something in the Revelations, it says something about giant metal birds being in the air. Well, that's planes, right? Giant metal birds. Back then they wouldn't know that it's a plane because they didn't have planes. So they would have to describe it that way. And they also use symbolism And I think part of the reason they use symbolism is, one, because if you can understand it, it's a universal language. And two, you don't want everyone to know, because look what happened when the bad people got all the knowledge. Look at where we are. You know what I mean? So you don't want everybody to know. You kind of want to use a coded language. But you know, because even if today something, I don't know, say like a flying octopus came out and it was made of some weird material we never seen before, but it was actually an alien ship, we would describe it as a flying octopus, right? You know what I mean? Like yeah, if we never seen it before, we had to create a word for it. So I think like all that mysticism and stuff is really just because we don't understand it. It's not that it's mystical, I guess you could say. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm a believer that there's no mythology. I don't think it exists. I don't think there's any lore.
No.
I think they're just things that we perhaps didn't understand. They're things that, you know, we translated the best we could. So like, I think, and I'm trying to read the comments as we go, but Lori said something about Revelations, right? So in Revelations, you know, in the end times, these flying horse chariots are going to come out of the sky. Well, at the time, the only vehicle was a horse, right? And so, of course, if you saw a UFO, which is not God, God does not fly metal machines that fire and wheels turn from the bottom. You know, we kind of move forward a little bit with some of our thinking. Ezekiel and Enoch did not interface with God. They interface with. So you know, that's just the reality of the story. That I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? This is so amazing. Somebody enjoyed that in the back.
Yeah, my son. Sorry.
Right. No. So Revelations, right? So they see it and they call it for what it is. Like so, yeah. So in the end time, something's going to come out the sky that God's riding on. Then obviously it's a horse,
right?
And they represent that as a horse. If anybody is, and I grew up in the church. If anybody's sitting around waiting for some horses to come out the sky, because I believed this when I was a kid. They had books. I loved Revelations. I read that book 100 times. If anybody's sitting around waiting for Jesus to come back again, and you waiting for a white horse to come out the sky, you're gonna be waiting a long time. Alien ships might shine, but they're not gonna be white, and I guarantee they ain't horses.
When I was a teenager and our Bible, whatever, Brother Gary was really cool. And he was like, what do you guys want to learn? And of course, we were teenagers. We're all like, Revelations. We want to know about the apocalypse. And we used to watch movies and stuff about it. And it was like crazy. But, oh, and you know what?
No, I gotta say something real quick. You just described why we're happy. That's why. That's why. So Susan and I were just talking a moment ago about why am I not scared? Like, why are we laughing and joking? It's the end of the world. Zombies about to start walking, aliens coming out the sky, the currencies are collapsing, hunger, food destruction, and why is this funny? Why
yeah, I know.
And it's like this feeling of peace and joy. I think part of it not only might be some light creatures going around giving peace and joy to people who actually understand what's going on, but two, I think it might be that as a kid, I love Revelations too. Secretly and quietly, my subconscious can't wait for this to come. It's excited and it's cheering. It wants to see some horses, but it wants to see the bowls overturned. It wants to see the pillars, and I've wanted to see Revelations for. I don't like this. I don't like this world. So maybe the joy I'm feeling is not like creatures going around like
the apocalypse is all our fault.
Right. It's because I've been praying for this, you know, because there's a scripture that says you're supposed to pray without ceasing. You pray from your heart. Every time I close my eyes, probably since I was about 6 years old, I'm tired of these damn scriptures. My father beats them into me. I'm sick of reading them. Jehoshaphat and Moses and Noah and Basil, and they're always doing something. And I don't even really care what they're doing. They had sandals, Jesus, and walking out. They probably didn't even take no baths. Let's get to Revelation. Let's get to the end. Let's get to the end. You know, so I love Revelations. Maybe we caused it.
We started it. It's all our fault. We manifested it since childhood.
I think I said that on a live stream. Actually, come to think of it, didn't I say one day that this was all my fault because I've been secretly hoping that our little psychopathic world that blows up children for oil comes to an end? Maybe that's why I'm happy. Maybe maybe it's because I'm just sick of this. Maybe I'm just sick of this. Not, and I don't think it's the end in people's.
No.
I don't think it's like. I think it's a beginning. That's what I
don't think anything really ends. I think it just changes. I don't think it, when it comes to the world, I don't think anything really ends. Like even the giants, I just think they were once upon a time our descendants, our ancestors. I'm bringing up giants.
You can't know. I said I was going to stay on topic. You just can't be. This is all the stuff I want to talk about, but we're always locked up in cuckoo virus.
And I know.
We can talk about. Oh my gosh. Ooh. So, no. We want to make it fit the topic. Let's make it fit. So, Nephilim, they're giants. The sons of light came down, bred, and had some sex, did some nasty stuff. Hopefully, people were things that they poo-poo and pee with in their mouths, but they probably was because they made all these freaky babies. In the film, God had to kill the planet. Did the Nephilim have long lifetimes? Does anybody know that? Do you know that? Did they have like?
I don't know.
Ooh, see, now we just went another place. Right. So time dilation. Right. So the ancient text.
Don't get us started on time.
It's crazy. This is why I can't talk to you. I can't have this conversation. I can't do it. I've been sitting here for damn near 4 or 5 years. Like, who is this Susan Jewell person? And why does she know so damn much about archaeology and ancient texts and all the stuff that's just fascinating to me? And why won't she live stream? So I'm glad you're live streaming. So you literally got like 4 or 5 years of my questions. I got to throw in and stuff that other people just say, Gerard, you crazy. So look, time dilation. Check this out. Time dilation and living forever. The further you get from Earth, the slower your body clock goes, right? So NASA discovered that. NASA figured that out a couple years ago, 10, 20 years ago, whatever it was, 30 years ago, 40, I don't know. But in ancient India, they knew that going back from the Mahabharata time. And Christine ain't around to correct
I know, she's the expert on that stuff.
I always put the French, I like to put that in there because it sounds in depth. Anyway, the Mahabharata had the story of the guy who also went up in the ship and he came back and it was like 100 years later. Like everybody he knew was dead and he told them the story. And I guess they somehow confirmed it. And the weird thing that actually proved that this was not mythology and it was a true story was that they documented that everybody was gone. It was 100 years later or so, and he didn't age a day. He's the same exact age. He left and came back, and it was like no time had passed for him. So that was an explanation of time dilation, and that proved that this man went to space. Because why would they document that, and why would they even understand what time dilation is? So anyway, add to that. So the further we get from Earth, right, the slower our body clock goes. So we know that time is relational to gravity because of Einstein. So the further we get from Earth, the slower our clock goes. Is there a place where our clock finally stops and you don't age at all? Is it perhaps that he went around to different galaxies or universes, whatever, and he got so far from Earth that this particular gravity from this planet, it's what ages you, and time doesn't exist elsewhere? So if the Nephilim were the sons of light, you know, aliens that came down and got freakalicious with women down
with
here,
the humans,
then their babies might not be in some direct relationship with gravity, and so they would live longer than what humans do.
Right.
Which would explain why God thought that they are, you know, they poison the bloodstream, they poison the DNA. Now we've got aliens here that are living longer than what God determined not to go beyond 120 years because y'all was being naughty in the garden, which, according to declassified document Adam and Eve story, it actually wasn't Eve's fault. It was Adam. He did this. He was the criminal, and it had nothing to do with a fruit. It had to do with a plant and the snake. But that's another whole discussion.
Yeah. Plus, too, because there's that theory. Did you see all those Christian things about because mushrooms grow on trees and around trees. And, you know, the psychedelic mushrooms give you different knowledge from different, I guess, realms or dimensions, or it activates more brain cells. So is the apple that they ate from the tree an actual apple, or was it a mushroom? Because what was it, like 75 or 90 something percent of people who tried mushrooms or psychedelics reported a spiritual experience, and 70 something percent reported it was positive. I would have to check the numbers, but I know it's very high.
Ooh. So I'll be honest, and I'll say that, full disclosure, I ain't never done no psychedelic in my life. I have never done a drug. I've never done a good drug in my life. I've only done bad drugs, and I used to work for a bad drug company. I've only bought bad drugs from places like Walgreens and CVS. Those are the only drugs I've done. I've not done any good drugs in my life, natural drugs. But most of the people I know that I tend to say are more conscious and spiritual than other people, they tend to be my friends who've done psychedelics, right? So is it possible that psychedelics somehow tune your wave energy with a different realm that you gain knowledge from? Perhaps. Perhaps. I have a theory about plants. I hit you with my theory about why they make psychedelic compounds.
Huh?
Why plants make psychedelic compounds. Did I hit you with that theory?
Oh no. But real quick, the Egyptians used the lotus flower. The lotus flower has psychedelic compounds, and Greeks use laurel, and they're not mushrooms, they're plants.
Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead with your theory.
Yeah, I tie everything back to plants because it's just what I know, right? So I'm like international V companies that, you know, if they got to cure you, it's not going to be a cure, it's going to be the product that they make. So I tie everything back to plants. But so plants have brains. We know that. We know plants are intelligent. We know this. We know that they have actions they take that are not based in chemical nor biological relationships. So they have a brain. We know that they came from fungus like we came from fungus. They know that they have some sort of a neural network somewhere that we can't find. It's not in the leaves, it's not in the cambium layer, it's not in the old woody sections, and it's not in the roots. So plants have thought, but we can't find their brain. I think that they hide their brain. I think that their brain, they, like us, we've learned to hide our brain so it doesn't get damaged.
Right.
And because we're blockheads, we made these big blocks called skulls and bone to protect our thinking center from damage, right? As a survival means. What if plants, which is significantly older than us, right? Mm-hmm. We developed this Cro-Magnon way to protect our brain because we're so young. We have 26,000 genes. A rice plant has over 50,000 genes, right? They've been here longer, so they have a lot more genetic expression. They've had to solve a lot more problems than us, and they don't have opposable thumbs. They don't have feet. They can't walk and talk. So they had to solve problems in different ways. Perhaps they evolved to hide their brains phased in a slightly different dimension. So if their brain is in a place where we can't get to it, where it can be eaten or destroyed, then it would make sense that they have some sort of compound that allows them to communicate with that phase in frequency or dimension or whatever you want to call it. So I think, I don't think, it's a theory, that when you eat plants that have compounds that allow them to communicate with where they hid or phase their brains, you momentarily are phased into a realm where they've hidden their brains. And, you know, we've never seen anything from there before. So like how they look at the spaghetti guys, there's spaghetti guy coming out the sky. Oh, look, it's God. And it's really some aliens. You're seeing things in a real realm, but you don't understand them. So your brain is like translating what it can see. So instead of it being a plant brain, you see Snoopy with a knife and it's running at you with some blood, or you see floating whatever, the wall's bleeding or whatever. It's your brain has never seen things on that wavelength before, so it has no idea. So I don't know. I throw that out there, but I think maybe, I mean, if your brain operates on frequencies and plants operate or communicate on frequencies, if we are here, but the biology of belief, how our brains our cells have receptors on the ends with Bruce Lipton, how we're signals, we're being beamed into these little monkey bodies. Well, maybe plants are the same way, right? When we make DMT, doesn't our pineal gland make DMT?
Yep. Yeah.
Lori,
almost every living thing on the planet naturally makes DMT and has DMT receptors.
Oh, you know that the pig, who was it? The cannibals. They believe that they ate you, they ate your energy, and they gained your knowledge. What if when they eat you and they eat your pineal gland, they somehow tune into the realm from where your consciousness comes from and they gain knowledge? What if it was a handed down thing that they didn't understood?
Yeah, but that's creepy because you know you know there's people that do that right now. It's really creepy.
So I think they're out there learning what the shaman knows.
Yeah, and they run a lot of energy programs.
I think they're out there. They're well, same with the pharmaceutical industry. Like it was funny to me to find out when I worked in the pharmaceutical industry that they literally send people to the jungles to find out what the shaman used to cure this, cure that. They take those plants, they spend millions of dollars and fly them back within hours to laboratories to study them, to synthesize and make those compounds. And instead of giving people the natural compounds or bringing back the seeds and growing the plant, they give you what they can synthesize because they can patent it. Right. So, and sometimes well, the story is that they burned those plants off. They destroyed the plants. They killed the shaman to make sure, you know, this is millions, hundreds of millions, if not billions in profit. Why not the same thing for the pygmy? What if they went there and they met some shaman and said, yeah, this is what happens, you know, when you eat a person or whatever. And that led down into studies of stem cells, and that's how they made the mouse young again, by hooking it up. Who knows? Who knows? All I know is we're being kept from reality.
Okay, so I'm hoping this comes out right, because what goes on in my head doesn't always translate into words. But so what you were just talking about, right? So we talk about how we're like signals, right? And our bodies are the receptors, like our souls, who we really are, right? So we're like in the TV. We're the TV, right? And we're the signal in. And when we die, break, the signal's still there, right? So what are plants? It's kind of the same thing, right? So there's other dimensions, because we talk about too, like there really is, well, I don't know if there really is, but I believe there's like other dimensions and things happen around us all the time that we don't see. And I think like some like really spiritually in tune people can see them from time to time, and they talk about that, right? And then we go on the mushrooms and you see other dimensions, and then people on DMT actually see like elves and aliens and stuff, and they're usually good, but sometimes they're bad. But and then we talk about time, right? And all those theories about the past, present, and future are all happening at the same time. So now I don't know how to connect this in words. I see it in my head, but I can't put it in words. But you were saying about the plants and stuff, so I'm thinking like, what if like everything really is happening all at the same time? Because we don't understand how time really works. And so plants are like on one dimension and we're on another dimension, and then say something else is on another dimension. And when you connect in certain ways, maybe through DMT or meditation, you're accessing those other dimensions, but it's still all happening at the same time. Does
Absolutely.
that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. What you kind of described is a theory, wormhole theory, right? The theory of Rosenberg Bridge, right? From a spiritual or energy perspective. So time is ever existent, right? And different creatures are jumping in. Different creatures have different times, right? like 10 minutes for you. Oh no, let's say 30 seconds for you is not 30 seconds for a bee or a fly. And I'll tell you
Right.
that I got this fruit gnat that's flying in my face right now because my bananas are right there. So I can't catch that fruit gnat. I might luck up every now and then. I get them. Like I figured out my Mr. Miyagi, and this is not very hippie, but how you kill a fly is you clap above it. You don't clap where you see the fly. You clap a few inches above it, and you will almost 100% of the time kill the fly because the fly, it's operating on a different timeline than you.
Right.
Right? It sees things a lot slower than you. So to you, you're like, missed it, right? But to it, you were like, I'm going to get you, fly. And the fly's like, you ain't going to get me, you stupid human. And it just flies and it flies away. So time doesn't really exist. Time does not exist. It is not a thing. It's relational to gravity to allow for other things to have interrelations between each other, right? We have to have the ability to relate to one another. So you have something called time that slows everything down. If everything was like omnipresent, omni-existing, we could see everything, past, present, future, and everything, then we're just a one. We can't learn anything. We can't play this video game here on Earth. So time is different, probably for a lot of different creatures. The creepy thing is, what if time is different for some humans? That's freaky. But
no, that's what I was just going to say. It is, because if you think about it, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I feel bad.
No, you got to do that. Otherwise.
But I don't want to lose my thought. So like, think about it, right? Have you ever been doing, like at work, right? And it's just like boring drag day. And it's like, oh, I've been here for like 2-3 hours had to have passed and it's only been 30 minutes, right? But then you're out enjoying yourself and doing something fun. And it's like, oh, wow, we've already been here 3 hours. So even for you, time is different at different times. Does that make sense?
Ooh, no. You went to the bottom of the ocean on that one. Yes. This is why I can't talk to you. This is why
time is always different. It's never the same.
No. So is that an example that we can control time? And by we, it is our brains. Our brain is somehow manipulating time so that time passes slowly when we need to pay attention and do something methodical. But when we're not, like sometimes when I drive home from slavery and I get in the car and I drive, and like I start driving and then I daydream and something else happens and then I wake up and I'm at home. Like I don't remember driving home. Right?
I've done that.
What if our brains are taking over and they're allowing us to rest in certain periods and maybe it seems like time is going different? Or what if we truly can control time? Like I think we're time travelers. And here's my best example of that. I think we're time travelers because of deja vu. Deja vu is the evidence that you can travel in time. If you ever had deja vu, you have the ability to see the future. There's no question about that. If you know how to use it, that's another discussion. But certainly our brains, our subconscious travels in time and it learns things. And maybe this is who the prophets in the Bible were. They just had the ability, or they didn't have the ability. They had the ability, they didn't know how, but they went forward and saw the future. And that could be like Edgar Cayce, right? Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, he'd go to sleep and he could interface with the Akashic records. I don't know. There's just so much there. Aren't there monks that slow time down? That don't eat for months at a time without dying and don't drink beyond 3 days? Like the average human, you don't drink for 3 days, you die.
You die.
They slow their clock down.
Yeah, no, time is weird and like I don't even think it exists. We've just been put on a clock. Like that clock actually keeps us slaves because we're always like, I have to wake up at this time. We're letting this fake construct dictate our day every day. And there's really no such thing as time, really. I mean, the sun comes up and goes down and stuff but like we were just saying, an hour could pass and not feel like 5 minutes, or an hour could pass and feel like 10 hours. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. So I think the clock was created just to keep us, you know, in check, to keep our slaves in check.
or to keep ourselves in check, so we can have this human experience, that we can have this matter experience. In order for matter to be a thing, you got to have time. Otherwise, it's just all energy, right? To matter, in order for matter to have relationship with one another, time has to exist. You have to create a timeline. But see, and this is why I don't do psychedelics. This is why I want to explain that to everybody right now. People ask me, Gerard, you ain't never done no drugs, you ain't never done nothing. We gonna get you some. This is why I don't do drugs. My brain does weird stuff, and I'm not sure what would happen if I ever did psychedelics.
It's over in 4 hours, so you'll be fine. It ends. It ends. Yeah, it doesn't stay forever. It ends.
Yeah, see, this is scary.
If you freak out, it's only freaking out for 4 hours. You'll live.
See, this is why, but I don't have to. My mind, it scares me on a regular daily basis. I don't need to tap into nothing else. I can't do it.
I want to know what I want, like some kind of God to come through and tell me some stuff. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, what if it isn't a God? What if it's not a God?
Well, then I guess I'll be scared for 4 hours. I'll
Right.
for it.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. Maybe there's some truths that I'm not ready to know. I don't know. I'm curious. I like, I'm psychedelic curious. I don't know that I would ever jump over that room.
No, well, like I don't know. It's been a long time for me, but I definitely, because it's like, the world's gonna end soon, and I'm gonna have to be in survival mode, so I'm gonna have time to sit and talk to trees for 4 hours. So I definitely want to do it, but I'm not crazy either. I would definitely do it in small baby steps before I, jumped into some kind of Terrence McKenna experience.
I don't know. I am going to say this, like, right now, they got all these police state people ready to grab me and take me to prison. Drop of a hat. I'm not that interested. But if we get to that time and zombies are walking around because people got the Bill Gates cure and yeah, I'm going to have to do something then. It's going to be cannabis mixed up with some mushrooms and something else. I don't know. It's a little too much, I think, what's coming down the road.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, what if it's
Go ahead.
Like, what if it's a demon? Like, what if you think a demon is a being from another realm that wants to help you, and it comes to you like Lucifer, right? In a knight in shining armor. I think I'd be too worried about that too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get this right, and I think Mark knows this stuff, but because I think Quetzalcoatl was the good guy. I don't know, but Graham Hancock talks about that, like the one Mayan king that like started chopping off heads and rolling them down the pyramid stairs. He was known to do mushrooms and have psychedelic experiences, and supposedly a god came in and told him that was what he was supposed to do. So he was saying, like, you do have to be careful of what you let in when that happens. That's why, like I said, it would be small doses and like sage and love and light and flowers and nice things. I wouldn't, yeah. But like, I have a good heart, so I don't think anything bad would come through.
How many people have like went on killing sprees and said they were killing demons and God told them to? Shoot, right. How many American presidents God told them to? We won't go into that one. That's got to get kind of fun. But, hearing voices in your head and things like that. I do think, though, that other things talk to us from other realms. I question if they use English. Like, it's just weird to me. Like, how would an alien know English? Why would an alien speak English? Why would another dimension creature speak? It's like if you want to control a car, you want to remote control it. You give it a program. You tell it what to do. If aliens want to do things, I don't know. How would I know? But if you can program a human to do something, you would just program it. I don't think that you would tell it and hope it does it. I don't know. This is going way.
Yeah, this is way off topic.
Well, everlasting life. Well, I think it's related to it.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, I mean, I think that psychedelics tunes you in with things that allow you to perhaps live a longer life, things that know more than what we know, spiritual or this, that, or the other, just because of Edgar Cayce. You know, tying in with the Akashic records, knowing the things that we don't know.
Oh, yeah, Jonathan made a comment about this time in the 3D consciousness or something. And I think it was Tesla that said, Jesus, I got like a tickle in my throat that won't go away. Tesla. Huh?
Virus.
Yeah, I know. Every time I sneeze at work, I'm like, oh God, please don't kill me. Like, so
I have
timing,
allergies.
it's just a sneeze.
I have allergies and I don't have filters. That's the problem with me. I'm in public. I'm not even trying to hold the sneezes back because I don't even care what people think anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just in if I have my face diaper, achoo, get my sneeze. I hope somebody was. Nobody screamed yet. I hope somebody has. Achoo! He's got the cuckoo virus.
And I know it sounds like gross, but like I work with building materials, and so when I get done work, I have to blow my nose, and my nose and mucus does a good enough job protecting what goes in my body without any, mask or anything. It is a pretty good job.
Got an early detection system. I've got back when the cuckoo virus first started, and I was kind of scared. Well, I wasn't scared, but I was concerned a little bit. I did get a face diaper, and I wore the face diaper. The problem was the face diapers, they hold snot. They don't let it out. So actually, the funny, I was at your store because every time I go in y'all's store, y'all got all kind of chemicals and particles and things, and I've got a good early detection system. It increased that mucus and snot. So I was going to the checkout line and I was walking around the store. You couldn't touch it. You couldn't get to it. Because I thought I'd certainly make people scream. And I got to the checkout. Oh, it was just full. All the dust and wood, all dust grouped up together in some, what do they call the biologicals now? Droplets. I had all these droplets of snot and everything. And I was just hoping that woman behind the register was not going to ask me to answer no questions, because I have an early detection warning system. I don't need no kind of face diaper, because any particles that go through my nose is immediate mucus.
Yeah. Well,
pollen season.
Well, what I was saying was, like, when I blow my nose, I'm like, oh, see, my body caught all the dust and put it back out. So that's what I was saying. It's filtering itself. Yeah, I got an all natural filter. I don't need a face diaper.
It works and does what it's supposed to.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, okay, so we're way off topic again, talking about
way
snot.
off topic. In fact, I was kind of wondering if somebody wanted to come on and rope us back into topic. If somebody...
Oh, wait, that's what I was going to say. Sorry. Okay. So he said about 3D consciousness, right? And Tesla said that time is how we perceive the fourth dimension. So if we can get over this time illusion, then maybe we can get to the fifth dimension, right? Because there's 11. There's at least 11 dimensions, because our brains have been proven scientifically to operate in 11 dimensions at once. And Einstein had a theory that there was 10 dimensions, and we would only ever be able to access 4, and there would have to be an 11th dimension in order for us to access the other ones. And that was like in the 50s or 40s, whenever he was alive. And then the IPFL Brain Institute in Sweden, they did a brain simulation, and it immediately started fractal patterns and grouped up in 11 different dimensions and started operating in 11 different dimensions. So our brains are operating in 11 dimensions. We're talking.
So it's creepy. That's creepy for a lot of reasons. I'll follow with that and say, so string theory, who's it, Michio Kaku, who leads a lot of that up, said that they've proven there are 12 dimensions. So
Oh, 12?
dimension to that. Here's the weird part. The weird part is that not that nothing we haven't said for the last hour and a half hadn't been weird as hell.
We don't stay on topic at all.
So here's the creepy part. Your brain is operating in 12 dimensions. 11, I don't care.
Right.
3 is no scarier. We only see 1. We're just here on this plane. We're paying attention to 1 to 3, I guess, dimensions. And your brain is like having conversations, is getting wave energy. Alien walks by you, multi-dimensional, it just runs its hand through your head. It's weird that our brain operates on all of these levels, but it only shares with us the information from 3 dimensions. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
It's only sharing with us the things
We're only aware of it because we only use like what, 10% of our brains?
They say we use 10% of our brains, but but I wonder though, is that we meaning like we, not as in French, but we as in us, the conscious portion, the subconscious, right. Utilizing it, right? Is the subconscious, is something else utilizing it? Do we exist just here, or do we have like ghosts, spirits that are with us, that are us in other dimensions? And when we die, if it's traumatic, maybe that spirit gets phased and people can see it. Maybe that's what ghosts are. This is crazy.
Did you ever feel like something was watching you or somebody was watching you and you were by yourself?
I literally every day feel like and most of them is crazy.
Yeah, they're all right there.
And they do psychedelics. And they defy the most criminal, foul corporation on the planet while their neighbor and friends and family are still voting for it. I feel like crazy people watch me all the time.
But I mean, okay, so because I've had that feeling a lot, and I'm not crazy, I promise. So what if that is like something else, or you, or like the veil between the dimensions shifting? Like, have you ever been alone and just feel like something's watching you or something's there that you can't see? Yeah.
So are you suggesting that is your brain for the moment sharing with you? Like, because I get that on the back of my neck and the hair kind of does that thing. So is it possible that, you know how dogs get scared and cats and pets and stuff, and they see things, they get creeped out? So is it possible that if your brain only shares with you what you need to survive, what you can eat, and what is the threat, that perhaps it does see the ghost like the dog does or the cat does, and it's sharing it with you in a way that you don't really understand? You feel that somebody is there, but you don't see somebody's there while the dog is barking. That's happened a lot. No, not the last time it happened. The one time I confirmed that ghost was real. I think I already told that story, but ghosts are very real. Do we know what they are? No. But is it possible that a brain that's operating in 12 different dimensions every now and then does see something as a threat? Why does it see it as a threat, and why is it sharing it to you? Is it because that is a creature that it knows can phase dimensions and cause you problems? And maybe a psychic is just somebody. And no, Lori, I'm not psychic. She said I was psychic. I'm psychic. I have no idea how to control any of this. You better hope not, because my mind, if it's phasing the way it is it possible that the brain is sharing with you beings that mean you harm? Because by the same token, like, why am I laughing at the apocalypse? Why do I feel good? There's sometimes I feel creeped out but then I feel like a presence is there, is watching me. But then other times I feel immense joy, and it doesn't make any sense. In like bad times, I should be feeling bad right now, and I'm literally laughing at the idea of the end of the world. I think it's hilarious. Is it
I
possible
know.
that just as though there are dark beings that your body picks up on, your body or your mind picks up on the light ones too, and it's just sharing information with you?
Yeah. I definitely, there's so much more to this world that we just don't know. And I know it's there. Like I think most of us here can feel it, that there's so much more to this world. And I think the ancient civilizations knew that. Even if they didn't fully know, they still know way more than we did. And I think that's why I mean, even those pyramids, come on. Those one stone was like, what was it, 2,000 tons? That's like 40,000 pounds. Nobody's moving that. Like, nobody's moving that unless you knew something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something way beyond what we know. Although, I don't know. People who are about to blow us up might know, but
So I want to add to that. So I'm in a house at this moment in time that is over 150 years old. So I bet you that people lived and died here. And when I go into an old house, I always feel presences. When I go into a new construction, I feel nothing.
yeah,
Like this is something
it
I
feels
recognize.
empty.
Yeah, it feels empty. There's no question in my mind when I go into an old structure, I feel something. Can't really explain it. Is it just me or did the lights just blink?
Did my
Like, mine just
No.
blinked.
Okay.
This is about to come to an
Yeah,
end.
they're getting mad. Stop talking about me, Gerard.
Well, no, they're not mad. They're good ghosts. Like I think most ghosts are good ghosts, but you know, because the stories of hauntings are very rare, few and far between, right? Most people, resonance, spiritual, whatever, is everywhere. And they don't mean you any harm, but there are some perhaps that do. But I do find it interesting that I feel, I don't want to say spirits, but if I go into an older building, I feel information. If that makes sense, I feel data.
Yes.
I feel that there's something there that's more than what appears to the eye. If a friend just buys a house and it's new and I walk in it, I don't feel anything. I just feel like I'm just in a dead place with no one, not dead, informationless place. So maybe our brains are picking up, maybe the biophotons are like embedding themselves in the walls and materials. Like crystals store energy, crystals are minerals.
Right.
Minerals are in all the walls because because of the wood, because of the what's the talk like stuff, boards I'm looking at. So I'll sell it all the time. Every time I go to that section of the store, I start sneezing. Drywall, right?
Drywall.
So everything in here is minerals. Like everything in here is made up of what crystals are. And if crystals store memory, and we know they do, then the hard drives coming out will be using crystals for memory.
Yeah.
So is it possible that because we are energy and crystals and minerals are in everything around us, that we're imprinting on furniture and chairs and walls and mirrors and everything? And this is why we have that belief that things that come from old houses can be haunted. And maybe it's not really haunted. It's just information that we imprint on things, and your mind has a way of accessing that data. And it's just creepy to us, but we don't understand.
Okay, so there's a couple things because my mind goes off like a pinball machine when we talk. It's like ding, ding, ding. Okay, so one, right? Like I make jokes because like my hair breaks and falls out, right? And
You make jokes because your hair is falling
no,
out. Usually
I
that's
mean
when
not
you
like I'm
smooth
going
it.
bald. Like for some
Every
reason
time
my
I
hair,
see a woman, they put the hand through and the hair comes out. That means, girl, you got cancer.
no,
The patches,
yeah,
they never laughed. It's like, ah! That meant the radiation.
No, I'm not going bald or anything. Just like my hair, it for some reason a piece of hair falls out everywhere I go. There's my hair's everywhere, and I'm always like, "That's right, I'm leaving my DNA around. So I'm spreading my DNA for the Earth to know." But seriously, if you think about it, like we shed skin cells and everything. So what you were just talking about, we're leaving information everywhere. Everywhere we go, we leave information. And then when we speak, our words give off vibrations. Our words, I don't think people realize, like, even whether it's the Big Bang, which would have been an explosion that created sound and vibration, or God spoke and then, there was nothing and then God spoke. So either way you look at it, there was sound and vibration that created everything. So when we speak, it's vibrating into the world, into the walls, into our surroundings, right? So it doesn't like really go away, even though we just can't hear it no more. And the crystals, do you know we have like over 1 million magnetite crystals in our brains? And that's how animals know how to navigate, and that there's like when a storm's coming and stuff like that. And we have them in our brains. Like that's why people get vertigo, because they get knocked loose. They start like going off balance. And if you do this somersault thing, because I get it, if you do the somersault thing, it goes away. But yeah, so we have them in our brains. So you talked about all that stuff, and I don't know where I was going with it now because it's just like crazy. But yeah, it all connects. See what I'm saying?
It all connects.
Yeah, I don't need drugs to be crazy.
Crystal. This is my favorite crystal. Actually, somebody online sent this to me. It's one of my favorite ones. I take it with me everywhere I go. So, and besides the top of the pyramids was a crystal.
Yes.
Crystal and quartz radios back and forth. But no, I wanted to say something about the shedding of the hair, because that's the friendly reason why you say women shed hair. I'm gonna be honest with you. Any man knows there's one reason why women shed hair. Okay, and it ain't cancer. It's because you gonna get caught. You gonna get caught.
I was just gonna say.
I learned that.
I was here.
I learned that when in college. I learned that in college. And I ain't never cheat on nobody because I understood. I understood how that worked. Women, when they go places, they psychologically tell their hairs to fall off. You ain't never gonna get away with it. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. Don't ever cheat on women, because even if they don't act like they know, they know. They always know. They walk in a place and their hair, they can see all the hairs. Their brain, like,
Yeah,
they don't
fling their hair, so they make sure a couple pieces fall out.
Like, my girlfriends need to know. They just need to know. It's gonna get in your hair, it's fall on your legs and shoe, whatever, everywhere. Like, this is my house, this is my man, this is mine, all of this is mine. And and they pick up on that, right? And so I think the next woman coming in, she don't got to see no hairs. She don't have to see none of that. Her brain is picking up on the energy. And subconsciously, her brain is like, another chick done been here, and ain't no other chick supposed to have been here. This is a place where ain't none supposed to be. She get that feeling, just something ain't right. Something ain't, ooh.
Yeah, and her hair starts sniffing out.
Like, something ain't right. No, I'm the energy I'm feeling in the room is not where it's supposed to be. I know this fool been up to something. I don't know what it is. That's what I tell men all the time. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. I'm trying to tell you, don't cheat. Like, if you really having a bad time, you just need to leave. That's what you need to do. You need to say, all right, this isn't working out, baby. Don't do it, because that's the other that show where the women caught the men cheating. They decided to run them over with the car a few times, throw them out windows, and stick metal objects in their backs and stuff. You don't ever do it. Just don't do it. Because y'all know there's no way you're gonna get
No, they're not.
You're a young dude, and you don't know
I admit it. I'm crazy. I don't care. Whatever.
You will never get every hair. It's literally impossible. It's hairs in your house right now from like 3 ownerships ago. Right? You'll never get every hair. You'll never do it. All right. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up, because this is gonna be all.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm so sorry for going off topic so much. It's just that like one thing leads to another. I can't help it. Yeah.
It does. Oh, Gloria asked me if I cheated. No, I did not cheat. Everybody that I've ever been with in my entire life would have murdered me if I cheated. Sorry, I got a mama, and That's a privilege thing. It's not.
Oh, he's a good man. He's just a good man. He's a good man.
No, he's not a good man. He's not. He had a good mom and a good father. He got parent privilege. I grew up with parents that was cheating, yelling, screaming, throwing books and dryers and burning each other with curling irons and hot grits. I'd be a mess too. So no, I don't do it because it's not something that needs to be done. And plus, I used to be sneaky, though. I will say that. I used to be sneaky, Lord. I never cheated. I used to be sneaky, though. When I was young, I was sneaky. And then I probably turned maybe 22, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And it takes too much energy. Lying is it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing because you lie the first time. And hopefully young people are listening. You lie, then you got to make up the next lie. And you got to make up the next lie. And you got to cover that up with some lie. And you got to cover that and put that package with the lie and sandwich, put a little mayonnaise on the lie. And after a while, you forget the original lie. And for me, everything is energy. And I think when you finally grow up and you finally mature, you just don't have time for silly stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, like you have confidence in who you are and you be who you are. And if somebody does that, you don't like that. If somebody don't want to be with you, you don't cheat on them. Okay, well, listen, if it's not working out, let's get some counseling. Let's do this. But I'm not going to sit here and if I think you're running out on me, I'm going to run out on you too. No, I'm too grown for that. I think you get to a certain age and you're just like, it's not even like hiding, running around, talking to people, texting on the phone, going through people's books and getting passwords and stuff. That's for children. To be honest with you, I got to hit this real quick because Courtney said I was a player.
Yeah.
So I got to address it. And this is partially why I'm a hermit, right? Because I got that a few times in my past, and I can't even address it. Like not anymore. I think that if you are ever with somebody you can't trust, you need to leave right away, right? Like I don't answer questions. I'm not a question answerer.
Was there a woman here?
You need to use your woman's spidey sense, and you need to figure that out for yourself. Right? That's where I'm at nowadays. You need to figure that out. You tell me, was there a woman here? What was her name? Was there? I don't answer questions, Courtney. I'm too old. I'm too old at 29. I don't have time for it. It's just like, if you think that I'm the type of guy to have a woman here, then you need to go ahead and just pack stuff up and go on. I pack up my stuff and go on. But I don't know. I guess when you're young, why are we even talking about this?
I don't know. You're having a counseling session.
Yeah, I don't even know where this came. We're supposed to talk about aging and hairs and women. Oh, that's how we got here. Yeah, because y'all leave hairs.
Oh, yeah, our hairs. Yeah. We're setting y'all up.
Exactly. That you're gonna get caught. Men, women, they link together on another dimension. Dimension is dimension 8. 8. It's the frequency 8.57 megahertz. And women, they all talk. They all on the same team. They're like, girlfriend, we're gonna send this information back and forth. We're gonna catch them. You're not gonna get away with it. You never. And besides, there's karma. There's karma. If you actually cheat on somebody and get away with it, it's gonna come home to you. Trust me, it's gonna come home. Women can hurt you a lot in 100 more ways than what you can hurt them. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Your friend, your brother, your father. I don't know. Just leave it alone. Just be who you are. Why can't? If you don't want to be with one person, then just say that. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, that's like I actually, because like I was a Gemini, right? Gemini's like things in twos, right? So and like, I'm trying to get back into the world, I guess, because I've been a hermit for a long time. And I'm like, well, then I guess I really shouldn't date a Gemini because I know they like things in twos. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, but if you want to, then just understand that that person likes things in twos. So you might not be the only one. And I just think that you should I think you should say what you mean. Like, why games or hints or subtlety or whatever? Just say what you mean, and if it happens, it happens, and if it don't, it don't. Whatever, right? It's life.
That's a good thing. That is like my mantra for life right now. when I try to make things happen, this is what I tell people. Like, don't worry bother with the online. I know most people I know probably do it. I used to do it a long time ago. I don't even bother with it because all you're doing is you're taking the things you were indoctrinated to think that you want and creating a profile of what you think, what you want, you should look like to somebody, and you may not even know yourself. The best thing is just live your life. Live your life. Just go out and do things. If you're lonely, get a dog. If you're lonely, get some fish, get some friends, do something like that. And if it's supposed to happen, it's going to happen.
Right.
Most of our friends are spiritual. I mean, so you want to be about it, then be about it. If it's supposed to happen. You don't need eHarmony. You don't need Match.com. You don't need any of these things. If you want ding-a-ling, then that's great. If you want the coochie, then that's great. Go and find that. Be careful because there's a lot of diseases out there that you may not want. But if it's supposed to happen, it'll happen. Don't try to make things happen. When you try to make things happen, that's when you ruin it, because your body clock might be ready, but your psyche
body clock,
right?
Your solar panels are heating up.
Right, it's like the body clock. Like, I'm not gonna mention nobody's name. They go Tony right there. She was on Tony last year. Like, I need some D, and she did not mean vitamin D.
Oh,
she did not mean no vitamin.
You can go out in the sun for D.
But she's being honest. I'm not gonna put nobody on blast, but she's being honest. Like, look, this is what I want. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. Okay, so that's what I think that's what everybody should be. Everybody should be who they are everywhere. Everywhere. And then we don't have any problems. But when you're deceptive and you act like you can cure things and you haven't isolated the thing yet, you're false advertising.
You got a vaccine ready?
False advertising, you Coke, in your Pepsi, you can't create no test till you isolate it, but false advertising. You go on a date, you put on some clean shoes. You don't go outside in clean shoes. You wear them dirty little flip-flops everywhere you go. Put on a nice suit, drive the nice car. No, just be yourself. Be yourself. You will be happy. Like what I told you when you first started live streaming, because you didn't want to live stream, and I told you.
No, I did.
I said, all you got to do is be yourself. If you go out in this world and you fake any of it, it's all going to be work. It's going to be a job. If you go out to date somebody or get married and you put on a false representation of who you are, you're going to work the rest of your life when you get married, working on a false identity and an avatar that you put on.
And eventually it'll fall through because you can't maintain that forever. So why not just be yourself?
Absolutely. People will just be your weirds. And you know what? The funny thing is, if you are naturally quirky and weird, then you're going to attract quirky and weird. And you're going to have a wonderful life with that person. But when you try to make things happen because you think she's fine or he's cute, you got some tight buns or something like that, you want to end up with somebody with some tight buns that you want to choke and throw out the window. Just be yourself. Things happen.
Yeah, they're not going to be cute after a while if that's all you wanted them for.
Oh, Susan, you said the word. Anybody you think is, the old people understand. The young people, this is mostly for y'all. We're just dropping knowledge on y'all. Take the finest man that just walk in the room and just juicy. He just walk in the room and you just, everybody pause, right? The finest woman you can find in some tight jeans and clickety-clockety heels and shoes and just delicious. And just, you lose your words when she walks in the room. And that person is ugly on the inside. That person's heart is a little dark. Or no, wrong. That person is of a different frequency than you.
Yeah.
You will hate your very existence being that person who you couldn't breathe when they walk in the room. It's not about what people look like. It's what they vibrate like.
Yeah. Because I think, I forget who I was talking about this with. It was probably my girl group. But
girl group? Y'all got a girl group? With who?
Yeah. I don't know if I can tell.
Nah, ain't no secret having the soul family.
It's our secret cousin.
Guys ain't got a group. Guys,
Yeah, we got a little girl
Mark,
group.
are you hearing? Mark, do you hear
And we're
me?
all here for each other. And
See,
I
that's
love
wrong.
that.
See, this is what I was telling y'all. Frequency 8.25. Women got secrets and they always working together. Guys don't ever trust them. Guys ain't got no groups. We just do our own thing. We thought everybody was just like coming together as everybody. Tony, you in the group? Tony, you in the group? Tony and Mark,
yeah, it's
us
us 6 ladies and Tony. No, I'm kidding.
We ain't got no group. We have no support group. We out here by ourselves.
Well, I forget what I was going to say now. But anyway.
I know, because we ain't supposed to have a group. We supposed to be family. All equal.
Oh, we are all family.
No
but
subgroup. No, that's a subgroup, subhuman group.
I think more women should do that. Well, we're not conspiring or nothing.
Then what did, please explain. Oh, I got to hear this. So wait a minute. So y'all got a woman group together. I was about to go, but now I got to hear the lie. I got to hear, just please lie to me. Go and just give me that lie. Tell me how women get together and form a group and they ain't conspiring. Please tell, I can't wait to hear this. Y'all, Jonathan, pull up your chair.
That was funny.
Go ahead, step in it. Step in that trap.
Trap. Nope.
Go ahead. I put the bear trap out there for you. Go on, step and tell us how.
I think it was Riley was talking about hair. No. Anyway, we're like there for each other, and we support each other, and we share links about cuckoo virus.
Right, but define that. So y'all share information on truthful things that y'all do not want men to see. If you have some dingling and some hairy kiwis hanging down, you're not allowed to see this information.
We share.
Tell me how this is not a conspiracy. Tell me how this is not a conspiracy.
It is not a conspiracy. And the only thing that we share that we wouldn't share. Never mind.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Thank you. Because we know we ain't stupid. We ain't men. We get it. We own it. We act like we're dumb, but we see things that y'all don't know. Y'all talk about eggplants and stuff. We know what y'all do. Conspiring.
Lori volunteered. She's in it.
Huh?
Lori volunteered. She's in our group.
I know she is. She conspired with y'all. See, I got issues now.
No, because I'll just say this, okay? Women can be just as nasty as men. We just don't do it publicly. We do it quietly between each other.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true. You don't, maybe. Lori doesn't. Maybe Riley and Melissa got some class. But some women don't give about two dams, and they will do it in public, in silent, in the town square, and won't give two dams in the middle of the food court. I've seen a man get smacked and thrown over a table in the middle of the King of Prussia food court. So that's not true. Y'all conspiring, and at this point in time, I'm feeling betrayed.
I swear, it's all love and positivity. I promise.
I'm feeling betrayed, and Mark is feeling betrayed, and Tony is feeling betrayed. And Jonathan's and Bradley, everybody, all the men here, we're gonna have to start a men group. And
go ahead, start. I'm all for that.
Women is conspiring against the brothers, and that's a problem. We're supposed to be family. What happened to soul family? We gods and goddesses. Why goddesses got to get together? What's this, Lori? Explain this goddess group thing to me. What you mean goddess group? You a goddess? Why you got to be in a group with somebody? Huh? We all are part. We are part of a whole. We all working together, but y'all got secrets in a group. Women got too many secrets. That's what y'all got.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do. You got secret groups. Didn't JFK say you're not supposed to have secret societies and it's deplorable? What did he say, Jonathan?
Oh, what did I step into?
Somebody help me out. What did he say? He said that it's repugnant and funky and stinky to have secret societies and groups. And what did he say?
That we're trying to enslave every male and child.
He said it's repugnant. Y'all gonna turn into pugs and it's repugnant, stinky, funky. Y'all not supposed to have no groups.
I promise it's good. It's a good one. I think more women should do that. I think more women should start little groups.
You literally just said women should conspire more.
No, I didn't.
You just said that. You literally just said
you were so changing my words.
You know, that's what I'm translating because the brothers translate. We could
translating.
We're just translating. Women, y'all should get together and have tea some more and conspire against the men. That's the only reason
men
ain't allowed.
Get together too and build each other up. Men should get together too and build each other up and cry on each other's shoulders.
Well, why can't Mark go? Why can't Mark go? Did you invite Mark? Did you send him an invite?
No.
No, okay,
No,
so what's that
it's
called?
the goddess group. So you're gonna have your god group
No, no,
and
no, no,
women,
no, 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 no. That's
and then
discrimination.
and then
That's
they can merge at some point. How
what
about
happened to
that?
all the equality? Hello? Hello? What happened to equality? Huh?
It's all equal.
No, it's not equal. You didn't invite Bradley. You
All
didn't
equal
invite
under goddess.
under goddess. Right. See, this is division. This is where we are. See, now y'all gonna start a group, Women Lives Matter, and start riding.
Lives matter. That's
See,
funny.
see, I know. No, I'm a little hurt, a little bit, a little bit.
Aw, I'm sorry.
Just a little bit. Y'all got
Well,
together and got secrets behind the brothers' back. And the brothers, we was all here independent, coming together. I don't even know what
we'll
to do.
start another girl group and invite you guys.
I'm not gonna start a girl group for me to go into a girl group. How would that even look? See, this is the problem.
That is so funny.
It's funny to
What
you
did I
because you in the
step
group.
into?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, you done stepped in a whole big pile of it. That's what you stepped in. A whole big pile and said, "Oh, we gonna get together. And it's not, there ain't no conspiracy, but you can't come."
Nope.
Isn't that the definition of the word? All right. So basically,
Ah,
I'm overacting. I counsel
Okay,
with
that
my
was
brothers,
funny.
and let the brothers tell
I know
me
it
if
was
I'm
like 10
overreacting.
minutes of a rant, and all I did was spread love with my sisters.
All you did was spill the beans that y'all got secret groups. That's what you did. That's what you did. And men, but we know. I mean, we kind of knew, but we didn't really know. But we kind of knew. We didn't really know, but we kind of knew because y'all been doing this stuff to us for a long time. Now, mind you, it's probably justified because we've been some bastards for like
Yeah, you got Freemason.
we've been some bastards for the past 3,000 years, and but I'm gonna pretend like I'm hurt because it makes me feel good right at the moment.
Can we have some loving Mother Earth energy groups going on now?
Right. Just promise me if y'all figure out how to fly, levitate, do something goddess thing,
yeah.
y'all supposed to let us know. Don't use it to like turn on us. I mean, most men is good men's.
It's basically like support and sharing dirty memes that we would never post on Facebook.
Ooh, see, y'all nasty. Y'all nasty. This is why y'all need Jesus. Y'all need Jesus, and you need Muhammad, and you need some other thing. Because I didn't see. Oh Lord, have mercy. Here come Courtney.
Yeah.
She right. Courtney is Courtney in the group.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna get thrown off of Facebook. Y'all not gonna stay on Facebook. Courtney in that group right there. Y'all not gonna stay on Facebook. They not gonna let you stay. I've seen half the memes that woman did. That woman got problems. Her brain isn't doing what it's supposed to be.
Imagine the ones that she shares with us that she can't share.
Exactly. And I'm glad that she does not. Courtney, you keep your little nasty memes in your little girl group. You keep your little secret society thing going. Huh?
You know what? Courtney's wonderful. Actually, we're all wonderful, and everybody in here is wonderful.
Everybody is wonderful, and everybody not in secret society got a little bonus wonderful. How about that?
Okay.
How about that? Everybody who ain't in a secret society got a little more wonderful than everybody else. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay. All right. I'm good with that.
All right.
I'll accept that.
I'm just joking. Anybody knew I do that. We joke. We all family. I just thought that we was all, So anyway. I mean, last words. Susan, last words. So we can get out of here.
I don't even know what to say. Yeah. Nope. I don't know what to say.
So this is an apology.
Our live stream on aging.
How did we do? Right. Like we did aging, Book of the Dead, pyramids. I did my best. I tried to stay on
timeline. Time don't exist. 11 dimensions. Yeah.
They lie about so much that we've everything has been kept from us. Everything. It's so hard to just stay on a topic, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, we'll have to try again and be more structured because we really went way off.
We will.
That was crazy.
It is. Anytime Lori talking about dick pics, you went too far. You went too far. Lori like the little angel in the group. But she only get that way with Tony at Cuss Church and you when we bring up y'all secret societies and stuff. Anyway, last words. Give us the last words. I gotta leave slavery. I'm still in slavery. I gotta go. I gotta put this cotton bag down. Boston got too much time out of me today.
I
Any
don't
last
have any
words?
last words. All right. Well, we started about aging, right? So just try to eat healthy, stay away from all those chemicals that they put in everything, and as best you can, and maybe you'll live a little longer. There you go.
You probably will. And my last words is, men, stay away from these women girly groups, because Naomi ain't lying. She ain't not telling you you don't want to see none of that. I know I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't need to know the dun ding dang dang. I'm not even gonna say it. It's just men. We have psychological things that we need to keep intact. We don't need to know there's giants out there. Giants. I'm not talking about in the film. I'm talking about giants, Hercules giant. We don't need to see that. Let that stay with the women.
Oh,
And
we
we can all
didn't do anything like that. Oh my God.
oh, stop it. You know Courtney in that group. Cut that out. Don't be lying to me. Y'all sing around King Kong stuff. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Y'all,
no.
you know, that ain't no girls in that group, is it? It's just women.
Yes, it's women.
Women, right. Men have egos. It's important for us not to see certain things. We don't need to know, but we don't need to know. All right, I'm done.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
All
for
right,
being done. All
uh-huh.
right. I said thank you for being done. I just got real hurt at 10 minutes.
What happened?
I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with you.
You said thank you for what?
For being done.
Being done.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
getting on me for 10 minutes for having secret societies.
Yeah, I'm not done. I'm not
Okay.
done.
All
I'm
right.
done
Next
for
time
tonight.
we'll continue this later.
I'm done for tonight. Court is not. It's not. It's not. It's not adjourned. We taking a recess.
Oh, okay.
Tony and Bradley and Mark, Jonathan, a few of us gonna have to get together, have a conversation about having a men's group.
Yes,
And
do it.
the
I'm all
penalties
for
are
that.
having y'all little secret societies. We supposed to be united. So let me stop. You're gonna get me going.
Yeah. No, seriously though, truth are men with good hearts and good intentions and
Ish,
getting together and supporting each other. That is a good thing.
ish, ish. Y'all put a click in the family, so we just gonna remember that. We gonna. Is Robin in the group? Robin just get Joe. Joe just came. Joe, they have a secret group. Joe.
God,
And
what
you
did I
can't go,
do,
Joe.
Courtney and Lori? I'm
You
so
ain't allowed,
sorry.
brother Joe. You know all the love, light, and all that stuff you sharing for everybody. Joe, Logan, you're not allowed in the group. You're not allowed to see what's in the group. Not that you want to see what's in the group. Joe, they got a group, and you ain't allowed. Just let you know. Is Robin Grant in the group? She just came in the room. She in the group too.
We're just looking out for everybody. Which is good.
You're looking out for everybody. You
Yeah.
just making lies and you just throwing out the poo-poo lies and just stepping right everybody.
I learned well
Everybody.
from that propaganda machine.
Yeah, but you're not looking out for everybody. You're looking out for people who don't have kiwis. That's what you're looking out for. People ain't got no kiwi and eggplant. As long as you got kiwi and eggplant, y'all ain't looking out for them.
I don't speak emoji.
It's late.
It's getting really late. I've been up since 3.
I really do have to.
Okay.
Go. All right. Well, listen, we appreciate y'all joining the live stream. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful good night. And yeah, we'll continue that conversation. We'll have to continue later because I mean, there's so much from the Emerald Tablets, Book of the Dead. I want to get into the Enuma Elish. Want to jump around.
You'll love the Hermetica because you talk about us being gods and goddesses and stuff. And there's a passage in the Hermetica called Man is a Marvel. And it's all about how we are actually even more special than the gods because the gods are restricted to their realms, but we get to travel from Earth to the celestial. So I think you'll really like it. Yeah, it's really good.
I will look forward to that. I thank you for taking the time. It was a great conversation.
Yes, it was. And I hope everybody else liked it, even though we went a little crazy.
No, we didn't go crazy. We didn't go crazy. There's no we's. I'm not French. It's no we. No. You went crazy. Y'all went crazy. You and your little girlfriends. Y'all went crazy because y'all created a crazy separate group and left us the hell out. I'm gonna milk that for as long as people let me.
I know. This is never going away.
Yeah, you got a girl group. That's why you got a girl group. Mm-hmm.
It's like the
I'm
Spice
a-
Girls. It's a band. We're just trying to live our dream.
Yeah. Okay. All right, y'all live y'all ding-a-ling dick pic dream. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a great night.